a second, something's going on. All right.
Well, as you know, drugs are bad, and according to my advocate's claim, he claims that hallucinogenic drugs provide benefits to those who abuse them responsibly and in a controlled environment. He then gave us a definition. So he said that in a controlled environment, it means that there are trusted colleagues to watch over them, and just in case of an undesirable effect, the environment and the atmosphere is predetermined and controlled. When he said responsibly, he means that they are not interested in the using of the drug. They are interested in actually learning from them. His claims were that many people many people have educational experience by using those drugs. And the second claim is that there are medical benefits of using this kind of drugs. Well, in response to the first claim, drugs are used, which says that drugs are used in an educational way. As I researched in his topic and evaluated his thing, I found out that some of his examples are not really really convincing. He sometimes puts examples such as that Dr. Alicia Debit used hallucinative drugs that deepen the reception of reality and can cause alternations to our senses. But however, I don't know what kind of doctor this is. It can be any kind of doctor. Not sure. So there's not really any credibility on this. And he also uses that a guy named Charles Duwan. He explained that the term binding expansion that comes to the drug's ability to unlock unconsciousness mind that would otherwise will be insensible. Here again, he doesn't say who is Charles Duwan. I'm not sure who is he, so there's no credibility in this source. It can be anyone. He also says that in one of his sources, I read it and I found that there are some contradictions. It says that drugs can be harmful, and this kind of drugs have long-term effects that is really dangerous to our bodies, and that this effect includes flashbacks, mood swings, impaired thinkings, unexpected outbursts of violence, and even possible depression. It may lead to death or suicide. And so, how can people avoid this? In response to claim number 2, when he stated that he gave an example of that 36 people were surveyed, and that okay, so he gave an example, and later, but the example he gave of those 36 people, they were really on drugs, so I'm not sure if that's really a credible source. Maybe it's not really that accurate to find the opinions of people who have used the drugs. Because they can say that it has been really helpful to them, but I'm not sure if they're just talking because of the drug and stuff. He also talked about the benefits that it gives of how the effect of the drugs, and sometimes I'm not sure it can be a placebo effect, and maybe other drugs can do the same effect. So there's no really good thing, and yeah, and that's all.
All right, well, you follow the structure pretty clearly. Summary at the beginning takes a long time before you get to that first point. Basically, on the first point, you challenge the two sources of evidence that the advocate used, but your main challenges are just presses, the kinds of things that you could have said 10 seconds after the advocate had finished speaking. You get up and say, well, they're a doctor of what, and who is Charles Wilding? Okay, well, those are okay questions, but they don't, there's no counterclaim to go along with this. There's no reason to doubt that these people are accurate. There's just a little bit of question about who they are, which is probably not that hard to answer if you look at a bibliography. Now, should the advocate have done a better job at citing that? Yes, but does that suggest that your position is a valid one? I don't think so. So you need to have a more affirmative argument on this particular point. On the second point, you make the same kind of challenge that could be made immediately after the speech. The 36 people that are self-reporting on this were all under the influence of drugs, so how likely is their opinion to be trustworthy? I think you could demonstrate, for instance, that the distorted perceptions are a result of the use of the drugs, and as a consequence, their self-reported data here might be problematic. I did think that you had one good generic piece of evidence right at the end of the first point that talked about all the potential dangers of drugs, but that's all it was. It was a generic piece of information, and none of it was particular to the advocate's claim here. At the end, you kind of bail out on the exit, and you don't really have a strong final point in the argument. All right, thank you.